Hello, and welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today I have the hatch in the garage. This is my Turbo GSR hatchback, GTX 3582, half-ass built motor, and we're going to be working on this thing today. I have a couple goodies that I'm going to be installing onto it. But first things first, I got a couple customer things I need to do and take care of. I also have some stuff that I was doing for the website, huntertune.com. If you guys haven't checked that stuff out and you need help with your builds or remote tuning services I offer, I try to help as many people as I can. And I also sell injectors. So if you guys haven't seen my website yet, be sure to check it out. Maybe pick up a sticker or something while you're there. Help support the channel. But anyways, I have a customer that actually reached out to me, and he had a set of LSA or like Ls3 style injectors out of like a newer body style Camaro something. And I've actually decapped and flowed these Ls3 style injectors in the past. And I actually had a set in my hatch, this car right here. I've actually had a set of these same injectors installed into. When we were going 10s this summer, I had a set of LS3 injectors in it. And they flow a little bit more than the normal flex style, but not a whole lot, I don't think. I'm going to verify again how much these ones are flowing. And I kind of wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of how much they flow and what they're looking like decapped and not decapped. And then I'm going to do a flow test between the two of them. You know, between non-decapped and the decapped after I modify them and flow test them and kind of show you the flow differences. But anyways, I did want to give a quick shout out to 79th Productions. He actually just made a video on his Turbo Civic. He did a B20 motor with eBay Turbo Kit, and he kind of documented the whole process. And he actually hit me up about a week or so ago, and he asked me if he could buy a set of injectors. And I sent him out a set of the normal style decap truck injectors, and he actually used them on his latest video. And they ended up making 301 horsepower on ethanol fuel, which is super cool. It was really cool watching that video, man, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for that car. I'm officially a subscriber now to 79th Productions, so you guys should definitely go check out 79th Productions and give him a like and a follow. He gave me a little shout out for the injectors, and I very much appreciate that, bro. So he also does like a kind of word of the day thing, which is kind of cool. Kind of hit home with me a little bit because I deal with a lot of like stress and anxiety and stuff like that. So, and I've been trying to battle through some of the hardships, you know, with my mental state of mind and stuff like that. And you know, trying to make everybody happy sometimes is really tough to do. And you know, lately with the Caprice and stuff, I had a couple like kind of weird feelings in my head, like, oh, did I do a good enough job? Did I frickin', you know, charge him too much? Did I not charge him enough? Is he happy? Is he not happy? Oh, I wish I could have turned it up more because the muffler was holding it back, but then he wanted it to be a sleeper, and I just wanted to make everybody happy, and then I don't know if I made him happy, and I'm just like, I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to just do the best that I can do and be as positive as I can be and try to, you know, just give off a good image to everybody, which is really hard to do. You know, you can't please everybody, and it really sucks sometimes. I'm not saying that the Caprice guys mad or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, you know, it's really hard to portray a good image working out of my garage. You know, like, I don't know, people just judge too much, and you know, it's kind of hard for people to trust me working out of my garage because I'm like, I don't have a good enough image. Because I don't have a shop, and I don't have a dyno, and I don't have all these things, when realistically, if I did have all those things, I would still have the same exact work ethic, and I would still have the same amount of quality stuff coming out of the garage. It would just be at a different location, but it's weird how some people, you know, if you don't have that kind of stuff, they see you as a totally different person, yet as if, you know, you had a shop and a dyno and all these proper things, you're legit, and, you know, it'd probably bring me a little bit more business and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's very expensive to do that kind of stuff, for sure. So, like I said, I'm just trying to do with what I got and make the best of it, and hopefully soon, one day, we can have a place of our own and, you know, look legit. Even though some legit places have more subpar work that comes out of this garage, and you may think I hack some stuff together, but, you know, I've seen stuff come out of, you know, name brand places that don't, you know, fucking do nothing, you know? I don't know. But anyways, Will down at Raw Performance used to help me out a bunch, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to him, man, because it's just been super humbling. Last, you know, 5 years ago or something like that, I was talking with Will a bunch when I had my first 10-second Honda, and he kind of helped me get there, and he helped me along the way with some of the tuning bugs and brought me into a whole bunch of stuff. So I can't thank Will enough, and it's cool that 79th Productions went to Will at Raw Performance and helped. They all kind of made everything happen and made some good numbers, and I'm super happy for those guys down there in North Carolina, I believe it is, or South Carolina. I'm not exactly sure, but so anyways, on to the video, guys. We have the injectors up here on top of this piston right here, and I kind of wanted to show you guys a quick comparison of the two injectors. So this is going to be like your normal style injector. Hopefully you guys can see it and the lighting is okay here. The light's under the camera, so it's kind of hard to get it focused in here. But so this is the non-decapped injector, and then this is a decapped injector after I decap it. So hopefully you guys can tell a difference there. You pretty much just have to grind off the end of the cap, and then it gets rid of the restrictor pretty much on the end of the injector and allows the injector to flow its full capability. And yeah, so anyways, I have a set of 4 already done. This guy sent in a set of 8, and I told him with these Ls3 style injectors, they're usually pretty consistent because a lot of them are super low mileage and they don't have a lot of gummed up shit in them, so they usually end up flowing perfect. The last 2 sets of Ls3 injectors I've done in the past were Minto Pinto, so if I can't say the least. I actually did 4 of these already, and they were fucking perfect, right on the nuts. So I'm going to do the rest of the 4 here, and I'm also going to show you guys a quick comparison of the decapped and non-decapped, and then we'll kind of do a quick, maybe we'll do a little bit of math and see how much these injectors are actually flowing after I decap them, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I'm messing with the fuel injectors for that LSA LS3 style injector right now, and figured I would show you guys a quick comparison of the injector before and after it's decapped. Let me turn my flashlight on here so I can show you guys. On the left side is the injector that is decapped, and then on the right side is the injector that is not decapped. So you guys can probably tell that it flows double the amount of fuel now that is decapped versus beforehand. So I think these injectors are right around a 45-pound injector or something like that, stock. And then once you decap them, they become into like a 90-pound injector. Maybe a little bit more. Like I said, they flow a little bit more than the flex style, but not like a crazy amount. So I would totally give you guys like a detailed amount of fuel that is flowing right now, but my tester is actually running low on fuel. I have a fuel tank and it's actually kind of low right now, and I regulate the voltage at 10 amps of power. So with the 10 amp on that fuel pump, it usually runs around 25-30 psi of fuel pressure, and then obviously if they're in a LS car, the fuel pressure is around 58 or so, and the size of the injector is gradually going to get bigger as more fuel pressure is behind it. So usually, I think the last time I did this test, they flowed over 1,000 cc, like right around 1,200 or something like that. So, but I'm just making sure that they're all even, Steven, and we are looking good to go. So I flowed these two. These flow literally identical to each other, and then this one is a little bit more and this one's a little bit less because this one is obviously not decapped and this one is decapped. And when you have an injector on my tester here personally, this tester will flow more if one of the injectors, because I can only do 2 at a time, otherwise the fuel pump can't keep up. So the tester, if one injector is larger than the other, this injector is going to suck up a lot of the fuel kind of thing, and this one's not going to get as much. Or this one's going to have more pressure because this one's not flowing as much kind of thing. So the pressure differences kind of vary, and that's why this one's going to read a little bit higher now, but I'll reflow these one more time once this one is decapped, and they should all be even as fuck right at 165 milliliters, which is where these other 6 are at. So I'm just going to decap this last one, get them all flowed up, and then this set of injectors is going to be good to go, and then we're going to move on to working on my Honda. And now, after I decapped the last one, we reflowed them, and they are all looking fucking mint. Mint! It's been a hot minute since I said mint! Alright guys, so all the injector stuff I got done. Now we're moving on to do some things on the hatch. And so I picked up a front lip and a grill on eBay for like 35 bucks. or something like that, and they came in the mail today, so I picked up this front lip and the grill. So I'm going to install the lip and the grill here in a minute. This lip, or this grill I should say, just kind of fits right in the factory location. I might have to get some of them push pin fucking things here because the zip ties might kind of angle it off a little bit weird, but we'll just run 2 zip ties in it for now until I get the push pin things. But that thing's going to look pretty good and sitting in there once all the fucking cat hair's off of it. So there's that. And then the front lip is just going to go around the bumper as well. So I'm going to do that once I get the car jacked up here in a second. And I'm going to do an oil change on it because the oil that was in the car, I worked on it one night when it was snowing and I had the valve cover off. And
it was raining.
It was fucking raining out, and all the rain went in the motor, and I've been beating the fuck out of it with that shit oil in there.
Milky, whatever.
Yeah, so I got some shitty oil in it right now, and that's why the catch can was all milky, and the fucking everything else was milky, but we've been running the milk for a little while, and this thing's got some strong bones now, so it's a good vitamin D. So anyways, I'm going to jack this thing up, drain the oil out of it, and put the front lip on, and the little grill piece, and I also picked up some seats. So at the Junkyard local to me, I went there a couple weeks ago, and there was an AP1 S2000 in the Junkyard. And I'm like, no fucking way. I posted about it on Facebook like an idiot.
And Hunter calls me right away.
And I'm like, dude, there's an S2000 at the Junkyard. It's complete. It has everything. Like motor, trans, shifter, wheels, fucking seats, hubs, wheels, everything. And I'm like, no way. What the fuck should I grab? So I start unbolting the seats that are in this S2000. And I was going to take, like, I don't know, just random shit, like the fucking steering wheel and the shifter and some other stuff just to, like, yeah, the gauge cluster. And I was just going to resell all that stuff and, you know, try to, you know, or I was going to, my plan was I was going to put the gauge cluster in, like, the CRX and do an S2000 gauge cluster and then put the seats in my hatch or whatever. So I brought the gauge cluster up to there and I put it up on the counter and he's like, oh, you know, $400. And I'm like, fuck you. No, I ain't paying that. And I'm like, what about the seats? And he's like, $300 a piece.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, no, I'm not paying that. Like, no fucking way. So, anyways, I didn't grab the seats. I didn't grab anything from that car. So I went back
about three times later. All 3 times we went.
I went back like a week later. I asked him again. I'm like, how much for them seats? He's like, $200 a piece.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not paying that. And then I went back again and I asked him and he said $195 a piece or something.
Yeah.
And then I went back again today just because I was like, I'm going to buy them fucking seats. I'm working a deal with this guy and I'm going to buy the seats because I really want to put S2000 seats in my hatch because the stock seats in this car, well, they blow dick. They really suck. There is no bolstering. They're ugly. They're too high up. They're gay. I don't like them. So I wanted to get some seats, but I wanted like an OEM style seat, and I love the black leather GSR seats that Michael has, but they don't really have a lot of bolstering. They have a little bit, but they don't have a whole lot. And the S2000 and like RSX seats have a lot more bolstering, and they have a lot. I don't know. They look really good. And these ones, they've been sitting at the yard now for about a month, and they had the doors open, and there was wheels sitting on them and shit like that. I ended up getting them for $200 for both of them, so I paid $100 a piece. And worst case scenario, I can sell these probably on Facebook or something for probably $300 pretty easily, I would think. But I did get the seats. They do need a little bit of cleanup. But here they are. So they're not ripped or nothing. They just have a little bit of fading going on. Like over here, there's a little fading. The headrests and stuff are pretty clean, and there's no real, like I said, there's no rips or nothing. They're just dirty, and they need to be vacuumed off. But other than that, they look really good. Yeah, black leather S2000 seats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the seats out of the hatch, and I think the rails from these seats will bolt onto these seats, and then I can just put them in. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to take these seats out and put these ones in and see what I have to do to make them fit. And that's what we're going to do before we do the oil change and all that kind of stuff. So let's get at it. Pitter patter, let's get at it. What is that from?
I don't know.
Some guy comments it once in a while. So anyways, we got IPGparts.com. Fucking plugging these guys because they sold me slicks for a lot of money. And the sticker's still sitting here. But anyway, so this is 12 millimeter, I think.
412 mil bolt.
Yep, 412. So there's 2 on the front, and then there's going to be 2 on the back side, behind the seat there. And then, yeah. There's also, at the yard, there's another clean, super clean EK hatch that just rolled in, and it has a black duckbill. And it's a little bit bigger than this one, so I might pick up that duckbill too. I'm not sure. And it has 50/50 taillights. So the 50/50s are red and white only. They don't have the yellow. I think the yellow looks kind of ugly personally on a Honda. So I'm gonna go back to the yard tomorrow, I think, and I'm gonna get the 50/50 taillights, and I'm gonna try to get that duckbill. So I don't even know how the duckbills are attached on an EK, but I think it's just a couple bolts and should be able to pull them off. But the duckbill that is at the yard looks way better than this one, so maybe you guys can look forward to a junkyard video tomorrow. If you guys want to see it, let me know. I'll probably make it anyways. But anyways, Christian's over here with the old fucking DeWalt and a 12 mil.
I've done this a couple times.
Yeah, I left my impact in my truck, actually. I gotta grab that. So, Christian's pulling the bolts out here.
You got 4 because you're cool.
I got 4 because this car's fucking stock as shit. Besides, you know, a lot of horsepower.
For that one.
You need a flathead, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, alright. I got her. I got a flathead, so it worked out. There we go. She's fucking looser than a goose.
Looser than a goose.
Pull this hunk of junk out of here.
See what I'm saying? Like the fronts are, they're bent forward.
Christian says he doesn't know if they're gonna work, so we're just gonna try it here. Worst case scenario, I can return these, so I'm not really that worried about it. Do you think the bolt position is like similar?
No,
it's not. It's not at all.
No.
All right, so we're gonna try to just take the rails off once. So I think the rails just bolt on, like here and here or something.
The bolt, yeah, it bolts to right there and right there.
And then this is just part of that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we'll tip both of these up. See, they're like similar.
Yeah.
They're really similar, so we just need a flathead and a 14. Or a Phillips and a 14, I should say. All right, ladies and gents, we have the passenger side seat already done. I didn't really film any of it because it was kind of a bitch, to be completely honest. So we put the seat in the car, and it's looking fucking sweet. I really like it. I'm digging it. I am digging these seats in this car. So that is pretty sweet as F, sweet AF. And then, yeah, so this thing was kind of a pain because, well, the EK brackets bolt right up to the S2000 seats, but what doesn't, like, the back bolt on the rail doesn't bolt up. So normally on an EK, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna rip this thing apart quick, and you guys can watch. So here you go, Cristiano.
Okay.
So to get the Yahoo out of the Dehoo, you gotta pop the Behoo. So this is the handle right here. I just take a flathead on this guy and give it a fucking kaboom. And then a wiggle. Oh, come on.
And the shimmy. You forgot
there we go.
You forgot the shimmy. That's
we shimmied. Okay, so there's that shimmy. Jimmy. And then we need a Philly Willy. Take out 2 screws here on the billy. 1, 2, 3.5. Fucking she's out. We got another billy over here. Fucking Philly it out. Philly Willy Billy. Come on out. Come on, plate. All right. And then this guy just kind of comes out. Not really nicely, but, you know, once that latch is down, you pull her out. And your screws go flying all over. And then you have to put a self-tapper in it because you lost the other ones. I'm not gonna
dude,
do
you got a Roxy chip in there. Freeze
I
right with the Roxy.
fucking do. Look at that, dude. That's probably expired. I'm just kidding. Okay, so these rails are kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Might have to, you know. Might have to. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So next, you got a 14 mil here, 14 mil right here, and then this shit You know what you do? You just fucking cut it. Because I don't care. These seats are fucking garbage. I literally wouldn't put these in another car ever. 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 Or ever. And ever. Ever. Nope. I ain't gonna do it. So we got another bolt right there. And another bolt right there. So we gotta grab the old Yahoo fucking impact from Harbor Freight that I haven't done a review on.
Because you need to get a new one.
Yeah, I probably should. Where's the 14, Christian?
I got the hammer.
So this bolt right here, in the center of this seat, is not able to bolt up on the S2000. This one bolts up, and these two bolt up, but not the center one. So if you don't put the center one in, the back part of the bottom of the seat will sink in, and you'll have swamp ass, you know, going right through the back of the seat. So we'll yank these out. 1, 2, 3, and up here is 4. Somewhere.
Just rip it if you gotta, you know.
Oh yeah. There we go. Get the last one out. And there we are. Okay, so we got 2 bolts right here. 1 ball here, 1 ball here. And this chunk of the rail comes right off. So then we flip the seat over.
Ow, motherfucker!
Did I get you?
Yeah!
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't even care.
I don't. I'm just kidding. Okay, so next we got some dilly willies. On this side too. All night long, all night, all night. All right. 14. 14. And then a 12 on the fucking this gang right here. Kaboom. And then you lift up this guy, and this guy comes out. Just like so. So our rails, oh, we got a seatbelt fucking sensor here. Nobody needs that.
Oh yeah, that's when I cut mine.
Did I get you?
Not that time.
Okay. So now, our EK rails, oop, we'll put these over here. Okay, so these are the EK rails, and then this is the EK seat.
John!
We'll take that to the scrapyard tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So now, the S2000 seats have a, they have nuts on the bottom. So there is a bracket that actually bolts to the bottom of the seat right here. Instead of the EK rails, they have another bolt on the side.
Yeah.
So what you have to do here is, I'll show you in a minute, is you got to weld. I kind of just made a bracket to bolt up to the S2000 seat and then welded it to the EK bracket. So, and that worked out pretty good. So that's all I did really, but I'm just going to get the rest of these off and then we'll pick back up when we're reinstalling.
Hunter doesn't want to show you guys this.
I'm ashamed. I'm just kidding. So anyways, to get the, okay, so we got the other side rail off, the 12 millimeter over here, with, you know, on the bolts, and it comes right out. And this side, there's bolts behind the leather right here. So what you got to do to get at those bolts is you got to just kind of work your way through here with a screwdriver and peel up all this fucking, it's like a lip that this sits inside of. And yeah, you just peel it out of there. It just bends up like so. And now we can peel. We can move the seat like that. And then this stuff will come up. So we just got to work our way up this thing and peel the leather back, and then we can get at these bolts, and then we just got to bolt it all back up to the other seat. So we'll pick up when this is all bolted up to the other seat, and then I'll show you what I did to weld the bracket. All right, guys, so we got the holy fucking dirty camera lens. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here to mod the S2000 seats to fit onto the EK rails. First off, like I said, the S2000 has that bolt on the bottom of the seat that bolts onto the rail. It's actually riveted onto the seat rail right here. So what I did is I actually just chopped off the bracket there, and I used the one end that bolts onto the seat, and I bolted that onto the seat. And then the other end of it, I pushed the seat to be level with the backrest here, and as soon as I did that, it's sitting here like this, and then I took that bracket and I just goobered it onto the fucking rail here, so that's all good to go. And then I did the same on this side, so it's just welded onto the factory EK rail, and this way I can unbolt the rails and do whatever I need to do later. So that's pretty cool. Got that all sorted out, so now all that's left to do is just to flip the seat back over. So now I'm going to take the seat and I'm going to be putting the side panels back on. So like this guy right here. So this guy right here is just going to get slammed back onto here.
And you have to use the EK.
Yeah, you have to use the EK plastics because they match the rail. So that's no big deal as long as there's something there. Line up the bolt holes there and screw her down, and then the same on the other side. There's a little plastic panel, this guy right here, so we'll screw those in, lose our screws, and then, you know, all the typical stuff. So almost done. Gonna bolt them in the car next.